we are going to introduce to you the other method on converting a quadratic standard form to a vertex form. Previously, or in our previous video, I was talking about converting a quadratic standard form to a vertex form using the given equation. This time, we are going to use a method wherein we will get the values of our h and k. But before we are going to dive into it, we are going to check or get the equation for your h and the k. So if you will notice here, I have the standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c, which I equated with the vertex form, and that is a times the quantity of x minus h squared plus k. So I'm going to expand this one, the x minus h raised to 2. Using the FOIL method, then we can write it as x squared minus 2hx plus h squared, and we are going to add the k here, and then distribute a inside, so we have ax squared minus 2ahx plus ah squared plus k. And I am going to write here our standard form. From here, we can see that ax squared is actually this one, bx is our negative 2ahx, and our c are these guys here. From here, we are going to get the equation for our h. So, since our h is this one, then we are going to equate that by this, but without the x. So, let's say b is equal to minus 2ah, and since we need to get the h, then it will become h minus, or h is equal to negative b over 2a. This is our h. Okay, so now for the k. The k, our c is equal to this guys here. So we are going to write it as c is equal to ah squared plus k. And we know that h is equal to this one, so we are going to replace that. C is equal to a times negative b over 2a. We're going to square that plus k. And of course, we are going to square the fraction, so that becomes b squared over 4a squared plus k. So simplify, this becomes, because this one is cancelled out, so we have b squared over 4a this time plus k. And again, since we need the equation for k, so it will become k is equal to c minus b squared over 4a. This is now our equation for k. So, if you will be given a quadratic equation, we are going to use these values or these equations for our h and our k. We will now use the formula for our h and k to solve problem number 1. This is in standard form in the format of y is equal to x squared plus 16x plus 71. From here, we are going to identify the values of our a. Here, it's 1. Our b, which is 16 or positive 16, and this is our c. Let's solve for h. We know that h is equal to negative b over 2a, So here our b is 16, so it becomes negative 16 over 2 times 1. So our h is equal to negative 8. Now let's solve for k. K is equal to c, in which our c is 71, minus b, which is 16, so that is 16 squared, and over 4 times a, which is 1. So let's proceed. 71 minus, how much is our 16 times 16, or our 16 squared? So we have 256 over 4. And 256 over 4, that is actually equal to 64. So we have k is equal to 71 minus 64. And now our k is equal to 7. So if we're going to write the standard form to our vertex form, then it becomes y is equal to our a, which is 1, so we don't have to write it, and then our x minus, what's the value of our h? And that is negative 8, so that becomes positive 8, and we're going to square it, and our value for the k, which is 7. So y is equal to x plus 8 squared plus 7. You can actually verify this to our previous video because I am using the same example. Moving on to example number 2, we will get the value of h and k again. So our example number 2 is y equals x squared plus 4x. Here, our a is 1 and our b is positive 4, and we don't have c, and that's a 0. So from there, then we can get our h. So we have negative b, in which our b is 4 over 2 times 1. So h is equal to negative 2. Next, let's get our k. So k is equal to 0 because our c is a 0 from our given example, minus our b is 4 squared over 4 times 1. So k is equal to 0 minus 16 over 4. And k is equal to negative 16 over 4, and that is a negative 4. That is our k. So replacing or using these values to form our vertex form from the given equation y is equal to x squared plus 4x, then we have y is equal to, again, our a is 1, so we don't have to write it, x minus h, which is 2, so that becomes a positive 2, squared, and our k is minus 4. And our vertex form of the given standard equation y equals x squared plus 4x is x plus 2 squared minus 4. Again, you can verify this answer from our previous video because I'm using the same example. So we are now down to our last example. We have 6x squared plus 12x plus y plus 13 is equal to 0. And this is not in a standard format, so we have to rewrite it as y equals negative 6x squared minus 12x minus 13. From here, we can identify our a as negative 6, our b as negative 12, and our c is negative 13. Using these values, we are going to solve for h, which is h is equal to negative b, which is negative 12 over 2 times negative 6. So if we are going to simplify that, we have positive 12 over negative 12, in which our h now is equal to -1. So this is our value for h. So our k will be k is equal to -13 minus b, which is -12 squared over 4 times -6. Then we have -13 minus 12 squared is equal to 144 over -24. So from here, we are going to simplify that. So we have -13 and 144 minus or divided by -24 is equal to 6 or +6. So our k now is -7. So using these values of our h and k, we are going to write our vertex form as y is equal to, our a again is -6 times x minus the value of our h is -1, so this becomes +1 squared, and our k is -7. So this is now our vertex form of the given example, 6x squared plus 12x plus y plus 13 is equal to 0, or in the standard format of y equals -6x squared minus 12x minus 13. I hope you're learning something from this one. It's the second method. Whichever method you like to do, it's really okay. And if you have any questions, clarifications, feedback, please write them down in the comment section below. Thank you so much.